Hey everybody, I'm doing a move bumper for the back of my Dodge Ram 2015 Mega Cab. I bought this truck when it's new. I put a move bumper on the front of my work truck. That's not this truck, but it was a different truck. And recently just bought myself front and back bumpers for this truck. So haven't done a back bumper before. So let me just bring you up to speed on where I'm at. I went ahead and I pulled the old bumper off. There's the old bumper laying there. Wasn't too bad to get off. I believe I just needed a 15 and a 10 millimeter wrench to get it popped off. And then I had some backup sensors that were in my old bumper. That's these right here. And as you can see, they were pretty easy to get out. They just clipped in right there by my thumb. And then they slide out of that little clip. Slides out the back, and then it's easy to pull these little sensors out, at least the carrying part of it, out the bumper. There you go. See how that just flips apart? And that's the part you see on the back of the bumper. And there's the sensor itself. So those were pretty easy to get out. This light right here is just for the license plate. Had a couple of bolts right here that go in behind the license plate that had to come out. And then this is the wiring harness for the trailer plug. So popped those all off. The bumper came right out. It wasn't a big deal. Just a couple little plates that fell down. And I'll have to see where those things go. My next step is I've got these brackets right here, and these bolt on. Not exactly sure how they're going to go, but I think they're going to bolt on something like this. I'm not sure why they didn't extend that across to hit all four of those holes. Not sure that's the exact right way to go, but I think I'm in the ballpark. It may go more like this, maybe flipped over. I might have that wrong. Have to look at the instructions, but my next process is to start welding up on the bumper. The move people tell you to, in the instructions, their instructions seem really straightforward, simple. And they tell you to clamp it down to a flat surface. I've done that. I clamped the heck out of this. And a big part of that is just trying to get this edge right here nice and straight. That's that back edge that you're looking at right there. That's the one that I'm working on getting nice and straight. I'm just following the edge of my table. Come over here, make sure those butt up nice. I use some clamps on this other side to get those to pull together. I think they're in good shape. And here's a look from the other side. Of course, this is sitting upside down right now. Not sure if I like that gap in there. Not sure that it's supposed to be there. Of course, you can fill that. I want these planes to line up nice and flat. And if I need to fill that and grind it, I'll do that. And I've only got one of the wings on right now. The other side will go over there. I haven't done it yet. I want to get this side tacked into place and get it welded. And then I'll move over to that other side. I'll shoot another little video then. Don't want to take too much time, so that's where we're at. All right, just an update on the back bumper. We're putting on the same truck. We did one for the front also. Kind of had some challenges with this because it does have the Class 5 hitch on this truck. One of the things that we found out is right underneath these triangle pieces, right here, if you can see right there real close, what that black area is right underneath there is the receiver hitch right there that that they're putting on these class. It's Class 5 hitch on these 3/4 ton trucks. So in order to accommodate those they're going to actually send us these parts. They're really good. After we told them what our problem was, they knew exactly what the problem was, and that round tubing was hitting into this line right here. And so we ended up cutting that piece out. We made this little patch piece to go in here. And I think what I'm going to actually do is that line's a little bit bigger than what I wanted to end up with. I think I'm just going to cut this back and throw a piece in there, weld it, and I'll probably just end up with a single weld that goes all the way across right where my finger is. It'll be tough to grind and make it look good. So instead of filling that, it's a big hole to fill, and I don't want it to look like some redneck did it. So we ran into that on each side. Those are the patch plates that we made. We just made ours out of 3/16 inch material, just like the bumper. Another thing that we ran into is we were sitting the bumper right on top of our receiver hitch here. And we measured off that after we set the bumper on the receiver hitch. And there's a couple of bolts that sit in behind the license plate. You can see them right here. We measured up, we drilled those. We had some exact holes that fit great right there and right there. Unfortunately, after we raised this bumper up to give us the clearance that we need over here on our patch plates, then these holes were off again. It would have been nice if we would have known, maybe it's our short-sightedness, maybe Move could have told us, I don't know, but I wish that we knew that we needed to raise this bumper up just a little bit to clear that tubing underneath. That way we would have had to, we could have just drilled this one time and had it be a tight fit. We're also noticing that when we tighten this up, that's where this wants to be. The reason we can't suck it up, cannot suck it up anymore, let me just show you over here. If you move around the edge of the bumper and go underneath here, we've got these brackets that we're running into, right? Oh boy, that gets awful dark. But the brackets that Move sends us, in fact, let me get a light and I'll just show you that. It's kind of important, hold on. Okay, and here is that bracket that we got from Move. Let me just get it from underneath here. That's the bracket that mounts straight on to the frame of the truck. And there's the bracket after we got it bolted on. It comes back, and the bumper where it meets up to that bracket is the reason why we could not suck that up tighter, like I was just showing you up by the license plate area there. We thought about trimming the brackets off a little bit so we could get it to suck up a little bit tighter there, but I think Move, the folks there, have probably done the engineering and the research on why they like that distance there rather than suck it up, and so we just are going with the kit as it is. And just wanted to show you why the bumper right here on the back end was not sucked up as tight there. There's this is a little bit of a gap. If you take these bolts, they're probably an inch long. These little bolts right here, you can see they go up in there a ways. And you know, we've probably got 2 or 3 threads on them. And we'll probably keep them. What I think I'm going to do is tighten those up. I'll put my license plate back on here using these holes right here. Probably put a little bit of a spacer so they're not hitting on these nuts, and I'll just leave those, provide a little bit of support for us. The interesting thing is right underneath here, we did put a little bit of a plate. It rests right on top of our receiver hitch. The receiver hitch itself has a little bit of a rectangle area that follows kind of where my finger just drew. It's about that big. It's probably about 4 inches by maybe 6 inches right here. And we just took a plate. I don't know the exact thickness of that. I'll tell you a little bit later. I want to say it's about 3/8 of an inch. And that gave us the height that we wanted to come and match up with the brackets that are on the outside, the ones that I was just showing you from underneath. So anyway, I'll share the thickness of what that plate is. It's right up underneath here. And you can't see it very good, darn it. But anyway, I'll show that to you a little bit later. So anyway, we followed the instructions from Move. We put the wings on a table. We followed the straight line that they suggest that we follow right along the top there. It turned out great. Came over, stuck it on the truck, and then we just went ahead and put these side pieces on. You put that piece on there, put that piece on, and then you fill in right there with that top piece. Pretty much a piece of cake. If you just take your time, follow some lines that you like, turns out really good. The only other things that we need to do is, I've got the parking sensors right here. These are the backup sensors. There's a total of 4 of them on this line. You can see right there. There's 2 on the other 2 are down there on the ground. And I need to figure out where I'm going to put those in the bumper. I'm going to look at the stock bumper, see where they've got those spaced. I'll stick those in. The other thing that I need to do is take the plug. Let me just show that to you. Got the factory bumper sitting right here. Let me roll that up so we can see it a little easier. Okay. What I need to do is, those are the holes right there that house the parking sensors or the backup sensors. The only other thing I need to do is figure out a way to take this off. It just unplugged. That was in the stock bumper. And I think what I'm going to end up doing on that is probably sticking it right down underneath here on the right hand side. I don't think it'll be too obvious. And just run my wire plug right back into it. So anyway, that's where we're at with things right now. And I'll probably shoot one more segment of this when we get ready to wrap it up before we send it to Line-X to get coated. So I'll shoot you another video then. Thanks. Okay, everybody, we are this is the final video on our Move Bumper projects. We got the Move Bumper back yesterday. We had it Line-X. We put it the same color as our truck, and we're pretty happy with the whole thing. We put some backup lights in this. We cut them in ourselves and put some little shelves for them to sit in. They turned out nice. They're a real bright light, one on each side. I'll give you a distant shot of that. Let you just see how those turned out, and then we'll move around the front and do the front. Okay, Mitch, go ahead and hit those. Okay. We chose to go with the floodlights in the back here, the two that we put in. We put the spotlights in originally, and they're the same size of light, but they were just exactly what they're advertised. They're a spotlight, and we like the floods quite a bit better. We just put a little switch up in the front for both the light bar and for these backup lights, and we're happy with the way things turned out. We had to put these little gussets, these little triangle-shaped pieces in. This truck has a Class 5 hitch on it. It came stock that way. It's a 2015 Ram. 3/4 ton, and that's something that we did on our own. Otherwise this bumper wouldn't fit, and the folks at Move were really good to tell us that this is what we needed to do. They sent us the exact measurements, and we made those little plates that go down in the corners right there, and that's why those look a little bit different. They're not very noticeable though. I don't know what else you could really do to improve that. So anyway, that's our back Move bumper. We've got a couple little places to fill up our airbags right there. I wish I could have come up with something a little bit better to do with those so they weren't just sticking out on the back, but I don't know what else a person would do there. So all in all, we're really happy with the way the project turned out and appreciate the people at Move. And if you have any questions, you can give me a call. My number is 208-589-1133. Thanks.